This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I'm going to narrate the preface of The Age of Velikovsky, written by C.J. Ransom. In the 1940s, Dr. Emanuel Velikovsky developed a unique model for the recent history of the solar system. His ideas were eventually presented in the form of a cosmological reconstruction titled Worlds in Collision. The most familiar aspect of this work dealt with close encounters of some of the planets, i.e. Venus, the Earth, and Mars in historical times. Velikovsky also challenged the chronology used for certain historical periods, i.e. the period from the fall of the Egyptian Middle Kingdom to the time of Alexander the Great's successor in Egypt, Ptolemy I, which he viewed as being ages in chaos. Since these ideas were first presented, considerable evidence has accumulated which supports both the historical reconstruction and the possibility that the proposed physical interactions did occur. Many discoveries of the space age were anticipated by Velikovsky's theory, but more important, whether or not these discoveries were anticipated, these and other space probe data fit exceedingly well with the model he proposed. Also important is the fact that many of these discoveries were not anticipated by conventional thinking of the late 40s and early 50s. In fact, in some cases, the opposite of what was expected was found. In addition to not having been expected, some of these data require strained ad hoc hypotheses for explanations under accepted theory. In light of the historical and physical evidence, it seems that it would be in the best interest of the scholarly community to consider Velikovsky's suggestions as a reasonable alternative to the opinions presently taught about the history of the Earth. Unfortunately, many scholars have not investigated Velikovsky's theory properly because they have been told the ideas are unreasonable. Obviously, everyone cannot take the time to study in detail every new idea that is postulated, so even scientists often must rely on the word of others. At first, it was relatively easy for some scientists to persuade other scientists not to take Velikovsky's work seriously because his ideas were not the opinions that had been held sacred by the scientific community. Distorted, sensationalized reviews and misrepresentations about what Velikovsky said made it even easier to convince some scientists that they need not investigate the theory. As more was learned about our solar system, a number of scientists began to realize that Velikovsky's theory conflicted only with accepted opinions and did not actually conflict with known facts. Some scientists, who originally committed themselves to irrational attacks on Velikovsky and his work, then felt constrained to defend their actions. One of their methods was to try to convince the public, and as many other scientists as possible, that no qualified scientist or historian would ever investigate anything Velikovsky said. This is completely unfounded, as will be demonstrated throughout this book. Another method was to repeat previously accepted dogma, as if it were unalterable fact, and have defenders of this dogma publish supposedly scientific treatises which were irrational or irrelevant and sometimes unethical. This book contains replies to the most common misrepresentations. In addition, this book was written to provide a complete overview of the theory and to demonstrate that this well-thought-out theory has considerable support from many fields. For a more complete understanding of Velikovsky's ideas, the reader should refer to Velikovsky's books and the continuing analysis of his ideas, which is available in the journal Kronos from Glassboro State College, Glassboro, New Jersey. Although Velikovsky has encouraged me during the preparation of this work, he did not see the manuscript before publication. All of the mistakes are mine, and his work should not be judged harshly on the basis of any errors that are my own. C.J. Ransom, Fort Worth, Texas, 1976.